to Opposites Attract podcast. This is Sonia Ramirez, your girl, and I'm sitting next to
Miguel Ramirez.
What's up, everybody? How is your day?
How was your week?
How is your life?
Going. And make sure you guys go to our website, oppositesattractpodcast.com. The best thing that you guys can do is share one of our clips with somebody that you know, watch them subscribe to the podcast, let them know that this is out there. Comment, thumbs up, all that stuff. And if you guys haven't noticed on the new clips channel, we got some advice from a good friend here recently, our friend BNS.
Shout out.
Yeah, he's like one of the biggest YouTubers out there. I think he's the biggest YouTuber in India. Mm-hmm. And he was visiting here recently and he came over and he kind of looked at some of our stuff and he's like, dude, if you make a couple changes, everything will be great. So check out the last couple clips. We updated the titles, thumbnails and stuff, and they're getting some more traction. So yeah, definitely check that out. Stuff.
BNS. I remember when I met him in India, we talked about him.
And we've had him on our podcast. Go back and check that one out.
Yes. He is a very wise young man.
Yeah.
This dude has the superpower that
the one that you wanted.
Yes.
Go back and check out that clip because I made fun of Sonia about wanting that superpower of reading books.
Yes, baby, can you tune you down a little bit? You are like yelling in my ear. But I'm extra sensitive right now.
Okay.
So. Anyways, yeah. So BNS has this. I mean, he's read over 500 books. He reads. Did he say a book a day or a book a week?
So I think I think it's like a book a week. But you guys can go back and listen to the episode that we had with him. I think he shared how he does it. And we got to get him back on so he can explain it again. But when he was here, he explained it to us again. And the way he does it is that he buys the Audible book. Mm-hmm. And then he buys the physical book. And then he'll put the Audible book in 2 times speed and listen to it at double speed. So you can get through a book twice as fast. And if you're looking at the book and listening, if you're just listening to it, you may not be able to keep up because you're just listening. But if you're listening and looking at the words while you're listening, you can keep up. Like your brain can put that together.
I don't have the way of mastery on audio.
Yeah. I mean, I can see how that would work. Like your brain will keep up even at double speed because you're looking at it and listening to it.
Right.
You know, so that's how he gets through all these books so quickly. And then he also has a system that he uses
like taking notes and
be able to take notes quickly while he's listening.
Yes.
And then he can recall that information too.
Yes.
So that way it's kind of like on the top of his mind. And if he ever is like, thinks of something like, oh yeah, I remember I read a book, he can like pull it up real quick and reference whatever he read.
Right.
Which keeps you fucking sharp as shit.
And he's a YouTuber, so if he is speaking on, say, fear or doubt, he'll go into his notes on his phone and type in fear, and all his notes on that topic will pop up, and then he can create a post or a blog
whatever
or
he
whatever
wants on that topic. But it's not just that book.
No,
it's anything that's based off of that topic. So he could just type in fear and it'll search whatever.
Right. Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But what I was going to share is like when we had first met, it was just fun. Like we hadn't even spoken anything, just poking here and there, like playing with each other. And he is that, right? When he is around, you just get that. He is pure joy.
Yeah.
And just wants to play.
He's go with the flow.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's cool because we had his mom over as well.
Yeah, it was nice. It was cool. You guys
I had
got
my sari that I had purchased from India. And I hadn't had a chance to wear it since. And so I decided I'm going to put it on. And Audrey's like, I want to wear one. So she put the other one on. And his mom showed us how to properly
put on a sari.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. Shout out to BNS. Thanks for coming over. It was awesome having you here for a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So Miguel got home yesterday.
Another work trip. They've been like back to back to back here recently.
Yeah. And our dog Nisi, she is getting up there in age. And we have experienced losing a pet before. And it's not just a pet, a family member, right? Like we've had that loss before, and it's been a while though since then. And Nisi, we've had her before Audrey. So she was our first baby.
You know, there was a special thing that happened with Nisi because Nisi was our first dog. Right?
Given to us by our niece, Nikki.
She was the first pet that we had together. And then about a year later, we got Frazier.
Right.
And Nisi's a smaller, you know, like a medium-sized dog.
You guys
and she's real calm. Yeah, she's been on the podcast a bunch of times sitting next to Sonia. And she's like a very calm dog. She's like, she'll just kind of like be off in the side.
Sweet.
Like just quiet. You barely even tell that she's there. And then we got Frazier. And Frazier was a boxer, half pit. And he was full of energy. He wanted to play. And that's just like those of you that have pits or those types of dogs, you know, they need that energy. They want that energy.
Yeah.
Right. And once Frazier passed, it was like we really got to see Nisi because she was so calm and so quiet all the time. And Frazier wanted all the attention all the time. Pay
attention, parents.
You know? And once Frazier passed away, we were like, wow, like we didn't pay as much attention to Nisi like we should have. Right?
It makes me sad. I'm getting emotional.
But it was a lesson. It was a lesson that we had to learn because ever since then, we have paid a lot more attention to Nisi.
And I catch myself like as a reminder because now we have another bully dog.
Right.
And she is the exact same way. She wants the attention. And so when I'm sitting down playing with Nisi, she'll come and
knock Nisi out of the way. Yeah.
Right. And so while you were gone, I had a very just special moment with her because I can tell that she is close. Like she's getting close.
Yeah.
And she was just standing and I was washing clothes and I looked at her and she just like fell over, like completely just fell over.
Yeah.
Lost her balance, but just, it was weird. And I got down and I had just a moment with her and talking to her and letting her know how much I love her and how much I have learned from her.
Yeah.
There's so much that I have learned from her. And just letting her know, like, I appreciate you and I'm grateful for you and it's okay. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, if you got to go, it's okay. Like,
and we just want to be there and make
love
sure that
the time that I've had with you and it's okay. And so I had that experience. And then that same day, Joey comes home and he's like, Mom, there's something I got to show you. And I said, okay. And I'm in the kitchen and oh my God, he gives me this packet. He starts opening it and he's taking out these photos and I look at them and they're photos of him.
It's his school pictures.
And he, oh my goodness, like looks so big. And I'm looking at these pictures and I'm looking at him and you can see the kindness through his eyes and the love. And I'm just starting to bawl. Like I'm starting to cry. And he's looking at me and he comes and he just holds me.
Yeah.
And he's just holding me and I can't really talk at this moment. And then once I'm able to, I told him, I'm like, hey, I'm not sad. Because a lot of times we're like, oh, we're so sad. You're getting big. I'm like, I'm not sad. I'm like, these are happy tears. I'm like, these are happy tears. You're getting so big and you're so handsome and so kind. And I'm like, I can tell like you really wanted to you actually wanted to take a good picture. Like you can see that.
Yeah.
And he was so proud of those pictures.
He looks awesome in the
because picture. Joey, for some reason, or I know why, because the gap in between his teeth, I should show him on my teeth. He stopped smiling because someone said something about the gap in between his teeth and he stopped smiling. And I've had that conversation with him. Anyways, when Miguel gets home,
I have those same two exact moments as soon as I get home. Yeah, like I was traveling all week And then I land on Friday, yesterday. And I don't know what it was. Like I took my bags up to our bedroom and we're getting ready to come back downstairs and just kind of hang out. Yep. And Nisi's like in our bedroom and I don't know what happened. Like I just kind of looked at her.
I was sharing with you that she had fell over.
But I was already kind of like petting her or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then you had told me and I kind of got down and I was just kind of like looking at her and I just like hugged her and put my head on her shoulder or whatever.
Yeah. And
just kind of like rubbed her and hugged her for a little while.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I was just kind of looking at the dates and everything and she's going to be 17 this year.
Yes.
She's 17 years old. So she's an old dog.
Very old dog.
But she's been awesome.
Yeah.
You know?
And then we come down. So
and as soon as that happened, you're telling me, you're like, get ready. Because it's going to be way worse. You're like, you're going to be the one. Fucking, that's good. Dude, I don't give a shit.
So I didn't tell Miguel. I didn't tell Miguel anything.
You already knew. You were setting me up.
I already knew because we're just very connected about our children, and I already knew that you were gonna see what I saw.
You were fucking excited. You were excited to set me up.
Oh, I was so excited to show you these pictures. Yes.
That's it.
I was
never
so
again.
excited.
I will fucking cry by myself.
In
the bathroom. I am not letting it out in front of you guys no more.
And so
now I know you're setting me up for this shit.
No, I wasn't, babe. I wasn't. I see you tear up. I see you tear up. But I knew that it was going to bring you so much joy.
Yeah.
Because it brought me so much joy.
We should have brought them in here.
You know, and so I couldn't wait to share them with you.
Yeah.
So we were sitting down eating, and when we were done, I got the packet out and I just gave it to Miguel.
She's like, just take the pictures out. And there goes Miguel.
Yeah. And but that's, it's part of life.
Yeah.
It's just part of life. Like, we come into this world and then we leave this world.
We talk about it like every single episode. It's just like the constant reminder of appreciating and enjoying the moments like that. We as much as we talk about it, like we try to do these things. We're not perfect at it. Nobody is. But it's like, bam, there's another reminder. Time moves fast. Your kids are growing. Enjoy it.
Yes. Yes. And that's the most important thing.
Same thing with our dog. Time moves fast.
Right.
Enjoy it.
Regarding that, if you have more than 2 kids, or maybe you have 2 kids and one is very challenging, going through a hard time in life, and then you have a child who gets great grades or loving, they're just easy. Please be aware. Please pay attention. Because I hear it. I see it. I lived it. The child that has challenges, we tend to put more focus on that child, not realizing, not recognizing that though this other child who's very easy also needs you, also needs that special attention.
Yeah. And then they get neglected in a way.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we've seen that.
And it's just having that awareness.
Yeah.
Even a child that's disabled.
Yeah, that can be a thing too, right?
Oh, I've seen it.
Yep. Right.
We've been in it.
Yeah, but we recognized it and we tried to make sure that we saw all the kids when we had them.
Right.
And that we spent time with each of them and, yeah.
But when you look back at it now, we gave more attention to the kid that had a lot of challenges. Now we're getting to know.
Yes.
Randy. We were not where we were back then. We were different back then. And we were just learning. We were just learning. But now we've recognized it, and now we are spending that, getting to know, spending that time.
Yeah.
And I've talked to him about that, and I've apologized to him about that as well. Because he was the middle child.
Yeah.
And he was the easy child at times. The quiet one.
Probably got to explain a little bit of this so that, yeah. So in the beginning of our relationship, if you guys don't know the story, we had Sonja's niece and nephews that lived with us. Our niece and nephews. So when Sonja's sister passed away, they came and lived with us. And they stayed with us for a couple of years. And it was just like overnight. And we did the best we could. But I think, like you said, yeah, of course, that was like, what, 2009?
Yes.
2010, around that time.
In 2011.
15 years ago almost. Yeah, we're not the same people that we were back then. But I think, like I said, maybe we didn't do the best we could. We did the best we could at the time.
With what we knew and what we had.
And I think we did, like, try to... Like, yeah, sometimes you need more attention on one kid than the other. Just depends on the situation and what's happening in the house.
Right.
That's how it goes. But we did try to see each one of them.
Yes.
Because we did things with each one of them.
No, we did.
But
I just felt like, well, for me personally, I felt like I knew Nito more and Nikki more than what I knew about Randy.
That is true. That is
right?
True. Yeah.
His poetry, the things he likes to do, that's what I'm saying, is that on a personal level, like having those conversations.
Yeah.
Yep. But then you learn and you grow and you forgive yourself for the things that you did not know or the things that you did not see. Instead of beating yourself up. Oh, I could have did this. Oh, I should have done that. Could have, should have, those words.
And things can change. Like if you have somebody that you didn't have a relationship with, that doesn't mean that you don't have to, that you'll never have a relationship with them. Like sometimes I think about, I'll just be straight up, like my dad, like we don't talk much.
Right.
Straight up. We just don't talk much. Hardly ever. Every once in a while, I'll call him, but I don't have like any sort of feelings. Like if the situation changes, it changes and we grow a relationship and everything gets better. Like it is what,
Yeah.
But yeah, you can change it if you want to.
Right. Yes.
So anyway, what was I going to tell you about?
Oh no. What were you going to tell me about?
Well, I don't know if you want to get into what we were checking out earlier.
Yeah, we can.
But there's this show that we all kind of got into. Young Sheldon. You guys probably heard of the show. It's a super popular show.
Yes.
And because I'm old, I always fall asleep watching everything that is on the television. Everything. So I've watched a few episodes, and when I watch it, I like it.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. And yeah, so we've watched a few, and then there was I don't know if I watched this one, but I think on this episode of Young Sheldon, you sent me a clip of it, and they kind of get into, I guess his mom has been going to church.
Yes,
right?
She's very religious. Mm-hmm.
Right. You can explain a little bit.
Yes, she's very religious, and there's a point where she started questioning.
Yeah.
And she ended up just not going to church anymore,
and then
reading the Bible.
And then he's kind of like wondering what's going on with his mom.
Right.
So let's check it out. Maybe we can talk about it because it was a really cool clip.
Are you cooking breakfast for us?
Your mom's not feeling well.
Is she contagious?
No, just tired.
Kids are talking to the dad.
Did you check her for ticks?
As soon as she wakes up.
You can check her while she's asleep.
Sit down.
He's so cute.
Do you even know how to cook?
Believe it or not, I am capable of making breakfast.
Sorry, it's not like we see you do much around here.
How about thanks for cooking, Dad?
Chocolate chips? Thanks for cooking, Dad.
Of course.
Is Mom going
Yeah,
to
when
church?
Dad's making pancakes,
Right.
I don't
Chocolate
think she's
chips.
up to it.
he asked if she's going to church.
But she never misses church.
And Sheldon's
Are
a
you
kid that
feeling
thinks
better?
about science a lot, right?
Yes, baby, I'm fine.
Kind of like
not
me.
a believer.
All right, here we go.
Chocolate chips for breakfast and pizza for dinner? I'm loving Dad.
Where were you last night?
Out with your grandmother.
Well, where'd you go?
Enough questions?
Y'all ask me questions when I come home late.
Oh, I can explain that. You're an idiot and we don't trust you.
Mom, you didn't say grace.
Don't worry about it.
Come on, y'all.
Can I sit with you?
I think Mommy needs to be alone right now.
All right. Mom, I'm scared.
Why?
You didn't go to church. You stopped saying grace. I don't understand what's going on.
It's kind of hard to explain.
Is it me? Did I do something wrong?
Of course not. Come here. Sheldon. Faith means believing in something you can't know for sure is real. And right now, I am struggling with that.
So you don't believe in God anymore?
That isn't something for you to worry about. I need to figure this out myself.
Can I help? Maybe I could provide a fresh perspective.
I don't think so, baby.
Did you know that if gravity were slightly more powerful, the universe would collapse into a ball?
I did not.
Also, if gravity were slightly less powerful, the universe would fly apart and there'd be no stars or planets.
Where are you going with this, Sheldon?
It's just that gravity is precisely as strong as it needs to be. And if the ratio of the electromagnetic force to the strong force wasn't 1%, life wouldn't exist. What are the odds that would happen all by itself?
Why are you trying to convince me to believe in God? You don't believe in God.
I don't, but the precision of the universe at least makes it logical to conclude there's a creator.
Baby, I appreciate what you're trying to do. But logic is here. And my problem is here.
Well, there are 5 billion people on this planet, and you're the perfect mom for me. What are the odds of that?
Oh, jeez.
Thank you, Lord, for this little boy.
I knew I could fix it.
Maybe it was you and the Lord.
I don't like sharing credit, but I knew in that moment it wasn't the appropriate time to say it.
There you go.
When I see that, it takes me back to the time when I was questioning.
Yeah. It reminds me of that.
Yeah. And it was very difficult. It was, just very difficult.
Did you get the feeling that in the clip, Sheldon felt like a responsibility for it? In part.
Yeah. I felt that.
I felt that. I'm talking about I've felt that with you. And it's not an easy thing to feel because it's something that is so deep and personal to someone. But in a way, you have an influence, right? People have influences on each other. And even if I feel like it might be for the better or whatever, like it's a delicate thing to change somebody's beliefs, I feel.
Yeah. And it didn't have anything to do with you.
But I had an influence in it, didn't I? I know you like to say that it just kind of happens.
No, it didn't.
But me and you have
yeah,
so many conversations.
Yeah.
And I ask you so many questions that other people probably would not.
Right. It came, I don't know, maybe, but it came to me when I was reading the Old Testament. Like that's when it very strongly came. And I didn't have you, there was no, hearing you within,
No, maybe not hearing my voice or anything, but the questions that I've asked you over time,
but
I'm sure in a way have come up again.
I mean, now they do, but back then it wasn't that. No. Now, yes. But back then, when I was questioning, it was when I was reading it and I read the Old Testament, right?
Yeah.
Like that, God said, read the Old Testament. And I started reading the Old Testament. And that's when all the doubt came in, because I'm thinking to myself, who is this God that wants me to fear him and is a jealous God and killing innocent women and children because they believe different? Like, who is this God? Because the God I have a relationship with is love, compassion, forgiveness, strength. But this God wants me to fear him and is a jealous God. So that's where the conflict came in. Yeah. And then after that, it was just sitting with me. And I don't know if you remember this day, but you came home and I was like bawling, confused, and I didn't even know how to bring it up to you. You know?
Get me. Yeah.
Because I knew how you felt, and it's almost like I didn't want to hear really from you because of how you felt. It's almost like I needed to self-process this.
You didn't want to hear I told you so? Is that what it is?
I just didn't need
I don't know if I would
any
have said
more.
that.
No, it wasn't that. I didn't need any more videos. I didn't need any more information because I was already feeling like shit, torn, confused. So I didn't want to open that door for you so that you can just throw more stuff at me because I couldn't take more.
You know
at
what?
that time.
Now that I think about it, I don't know if I did kind of like what the video did, because that is the truth at the bottom of it, in the end of it all, regardless of what you believe. Like, I feel like, I don't know, we talk about it a lot, but yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to explain. It's just,
tap in.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. And we talk about it because where I'm at right now is that I don't need to know and figure out anything. Like, it's just like continue doing. I don't need to search anymore. Right? It's the knowing comes from within. And I don't need to search for answers anymore.
This is the thing. This is what I was trying to get at, is that there's the way that I believe things. There's a lot of things that you just don't know. And I'm okay with that. Like a lot of these things is like telling you things that we have no clue about. And it's okay not to know that. I think that's why there's such a big freaking conflict. Maybe not for people that are super like, this is it, because they don't have that problem. They don't question anything.
Right.
I don't know if that's a good thing. I'm just saying. But if you do question things a little bit, you're going to come up with some questions and be like, I don't know, like, but it's okay not to know. What if it's not that way? It's okay. And something that came up last week, I was talking about my beliefs and I was telling you that it's kind of like Play-Doh. Nothing is concrete. And I wonder if I was to ask you, like, if, let's say, because you know what, you know me pretty well, and you know
Yes.
probably what it would take to change my mind on something. Is my mind unchangeable?
No.
But if I was to change my mind on something, you have an idea of possibly what it would take, right? And do you think if there was information that like made sense? I'm not talking about I feel and whatever. I'm talking about where you can show me that actually what we thought was wrong and this is actually it and this is why and this is how it happened. Do you think that I could change my mind? Would it?
Yes, like if you were to see a miracle with your own eyes,
and then somebody could show like this is how it happens.
it's like you're open, but you're not. Kind of.
I'm open, but I'm fucking skeptical. Like I need to see how this shit works. So what I'm saying is,
That's kind of true, but you don't.
babe, because I'm skeptical of there's things that you just can't fucking prove, and people want to act like this is it. You cannot test it. You cannot study it. I'm not fucking falling for it. And some people will allow more of that in and less of that in. I allow
open,
hardly none of that in.
You say
which
you're
makes me
open,
different.
but when I talk about God or someone's talking about God, it's a trigger for you. You contract. It's almost like, I don't know if it's still as, but it's almost like you turn it off. Like you just turn it off. So you're not as open as you think.
Yeah.
At least that's how I feel.
Well,
because it says something.
if you could show me something, do you think it could open me a little bit?
I've had some pretty...
No, I need to have one.
Yeah,
though.
see, like as your wife,
Babe.
I have had some experiences.
Babe, but you know
that
me.
That
I haven't had one
you
ever.
trust me, and
I understand,
right,
babe.
and you know
I
me.
understand.
And if I said
okay, anyway,
and
babe,
I wasn't even
that's not even worth talking about, because there is no way that you could be in my shoes, right?
But wouldn't you question how can that? Like how can that be? Like how can this?
Yes,
like I
babe,
made all that up.
People have felt and thought things for billions of years.
Right.
I just say that people's brains are fucking faulty.
Right. Okay, so hold on though. Back then, when I'm with my first experience,
Especially when it comes to feelings.
Did I talk about God? Did I talk about God back then?
Babe,
no, just listen.
okay.
Just answer the question.
That was, what year was
2013.
that? Okay, so that was
We never went to church.
11 years ago?
Yeah, we never
and
went to church.
you remember that vividly today. And there is no way that possibly by telling that story that happened 11 years ago, you didn't solidify it in your mind in a different way by telling it differently every time.
But hold on.
Slightly. That happened.
The experience happened.
And what I just explained is something that gets studied too.
When it happened, did I talk to you about it? Did I tell you about it?
Yeah.
Yes.
But just like when somebody loses weight that you live with,
just wait.
I
told you about it in 2000 when it happened. I told you about it, right? When this spiritual experience happened, was I going to church?
No.
Did I say grace?
I don't remember, babe.
No.
I don't remember. It was 11 years ago.
You don't remember if we attended? We didn't attend
don't
church.
remember if you said grace 11 years ago.
Okay.
Or if we were going to church at that time 11 years ago. I do not remember.
Okay.
And that is what people have a problem saying.
Okay.
I do not know.
I remember because after that experience is when I started going to church because I was looking for answers.
Okay, then maybe, yeah.
You know, but most people that
or maybe you had started going to church and that happened shortly after.
But most people,
or maybe you're misremembering. Is that a possibility? No, right? That's not a possibility.
Let's see. Michaela was about 2 years old, I think, when we had her. She was little, like
and
3.
And all the details you're about to give are 100%.
No, they're not. Probably not. I would have to look to see her age and stuff like that. But I know I was taking her a bath with Audrey, and they were little.
Okay.
But anyways, most people that have spiritual experiences, it's because they're surrendering. They're on their hands and knees. They're surrendering to something. Right. And maybe they've been going to church or they believed in God. I was not that then.
You were also conditioned growing up to believe in things.
No, I was.
Babe,
I was like you. Yeah, I was like you. Go to
More
church.
Than me.
Go to church. My mom and dad never. Your mom was more Catholic than my parents.
Babe, if you were more like, you can't say you were more like me, because if you were more like me, I've questioned shit since I was a kid. I kind of go with the flow, but I'm always like, I don't know. My entire freaking life, babe.
I just never thought about it.
Right?
I never thought about it.
I did.
Not me.
Okay,
even when my mom tried to get us in had us in doing the communion. I remember that. I'm going to school. That's what I thought. My mom put me in school.
Yeah.
Right? But I don't ever remember praying or any of that.
Mine was like, this is weird. This is all weird.
Yeah. So anyways, during that time, it's not like I was looking or searching. It was something that was very spontaneous that happened.
Yeah.
But I understand what you're saying, like with the memory and all this other stuff. But I know that we didn't go to church because I didn't start looking until after.
Yeah.
Because I wanted answers. Like what was this I felt?
Yeah.
So the relationship I had before we started going to church. So when I started reading the Bible and then the Old Testament came up, I'm like, who is this God? And I felt very confused, do you remember the mom's name on Old Sheldon?
No. young Sheldon, not old Sheldon. You said old Sheldon, trying to make him old.
Connie. No, Connie's a grandmother who owns the
crazy grandmother that owns the
casino.
The casino laundromat. Yeah, check it out. Young Sheldon. It's a funny show.
Yeah. But it was when I saw that video, I was just like, man.
Yeah.
I can relate.
So what I was talking about earlier was last week we were talking about like my beliefs are more like Play-Doh. Mm-hmm. I mean, as much as you don't like to think so or whatever, you can say what you want.
I know. Say that.
Well, you said babe, run it back like 30 seconds. You just said that I'm not as open as I like to think.
Sorry.
But what I'm saying is show me something and I am willing to change my mind. Mm-hmm. I am not willing to change my mind with fairy dust. Show me something and my mind can be changed. Just like the whole freaking Ancient Apocalypse documentary. There's a lot of stuff in there that makes a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. All right? So I can have my mind changed. Like before I would say the flood probably didn't even fucking happen.
Right.
And now my mind might be changed to where there's a possibility that something happened that made people think that there was a flood. That's a change in your mind, right? And if there's other information, it'll change more or in a different way. But last week we were talking about people's beliefs and how some coaches, like you didn't understand how coaches could be spiritual and accepting, but still have this attachment. Like you have to call yourself a Christian or you have to call yourself a Mormon or a Muslim or whatever. And I was saying like, it's kind of like there's different levels to things, or I don't know exactly how to call it, but one is like you have no exceptions. Like your religion is how it is. That is it. And then little by little, it's like, well, my religion is cool, but I accept other religions. And then maybe, well, I believe this, but we all kind of have our own beliefs and, who knows, And I told you that there was a quote that I kind of made up. And it was, if you have an attached, let me see, I wrote it down. But if you're attached to something, it's a sign of something. And I've been thinking about that. The reason that it's a sign of something, it's a sign that you don't understand something correctly about humanity, about the world, I think. Because if you look at your religion, whatever that may be, I don't know if Buddhism, I can't say, but the big three, whatever the hell, you're going to tell me that one of the first things that God did when he came was say, these are my people and those are not. The first thing that he's going to do is like split us up into his people and the ones that aren't. Like the biggest problem that we have in the world is division.
Right.
Division of politics, division of race, division of religion, division of fucking everything. Is what destroys everybody, which is why when I went back and we kind of talk about that video with Vivek last week, where he's talking about that nationalist pride. This is where it kind of all gets wrapped together. That nationalist pride. I understand what he's talking about because you have to have that family governance, caring about where you live first before you go out and help anybody else. That's where the nationalist pride helps, right? We come together as people. We do our best in our house. But when you understand that we shouldn't be divided, that we are all the same people, then that's what gives you compassion for everybody else. And you don't want bad for anyone. It's not they're my enemies. They're just fucking brainwashed differently. The Russians, the Palestinians, the freaking the people in Israel, fucking everybody. They're just brainwashed differently. I'm telling you, this is the fucking final level. I don't know if any of you get that we are not different. We are the gods. We created everything. And look at what we're creating right now.
Yep.
When people realize that we are all the same, that there is no division. Like that's why when you specifically single out Jesus or anybody else, you are missing the point. This is that intensity that we talked about with that last time, right? If you are singling anybody out, you are missing the point.
Love is not that.
And then
that's not what Jesus created.
When you take in everything else into account, like creation, like evolution, like animals, everything. Maybe evolution's wrong. Who gives a fuck? These are all living creatures, living things. You can see that they, like God or no God, they have love in them. They love us somehow. We can love things. There's no reason not to. Some things you got to be careful of, like fucking lions and shit. Love them from afar. We got little lions in the house, but I'm just saying.
Our little lions.
But I don't know. And that is why I have this thing. It's not I've said this before. I feel Jesus was an incredible person that was doing what he knew was right. He was trying to teach people the truth. But people idolize people. We make gods of people.
I don't disagree.
And when we single him out, we are missing the point. And I don't think he wanted that either. And his words have been changed. Politics have influenced the Bible. There is a lot that goes into it that people just don't think about. And that is why my beliefs are made up of so many different things that is not easy to explain. But I'm okay with that. And, that is something that people should think about too. Like, I really don't know if anybody else feels exactly how I feel. And it's okay. There may not be.
There's a lot of people
There's a lot of people on the planet, and there have been a lot of people in the history of the world. There may have been. There most likely have been. I haven't met any. Maybe that's you. If that's you, maybe you can call in. Let me know. Let me know what you think. Maybe we can talk about it. 480-331-9846. But yeah, make sure you guys go to our website, oppositesattractpodcast.com, and share it with the people that you know. When you guys go to our website, you'll see all the ways that you can support the channel and watch the show and follow us. Just search Opposites Attract Podcast on any of the social medias, and you'll be able to follow us and find us. And you can watch us on YouTube and Facebook, and you can listen to us on any app.
Yes.
And if you want to support the show, you can click on the Support the Show tab on our website, and that'll take you to our Amazon link. Anything that you purchase through that link will help us out, and you can also help us buy.
Going to buymeacoffee.com/oppositepod and donating a drink or two.
Yeah.
You can also subscribe to that on a monthly basis. And I am also offering gifting sessions for my coaching. So whether you live in state, out of state, does not matter. You can give me a call at
602-633-5658. And you can email Sonja at healinghearts@sonjaramirez.com.
Yes. And if there's someone that is having a hard time, it doesn't matter whether it's in their relationship, whether it's in their business, whether it's personally, whatever it may be. If you feel the calling, share my information with them, and I will be sure to gift them that session as well.
Yep. Yeah, make sure you get a hold of Sonja. Like I said, healinghearts@sonjaramirez.com, 602-633-5658.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah.
So ladies, and actually gentlemen, this is so crazy. So I'm 47 years old, and I'm just learning about my menstrual cycle.
Yeah.
Stupid as shit.
You've been doing this for how long?
I know, but it's only because I never felt anything. Like, I never felt angry or hormonal or just none of that. I didn't even know what a cramp felt like.
Yeah.
So when I started seeing changes, now I'm cramping. Now I'm like feeling fatigue, depressed, and all these other things. I'm like, I need to get a grip on this. Like, what the heck is happening? And I don't want to go to the doctors because the doctors are just going to shoot some prescription drug or shoot me with hormones and all these other things that may make me feel more out of whack. So then I start looking up information, and I'm just now getting into it. But there are different stages that us women go through during that time. And so
it's like the best times to do certain things.
Right. Especially
or like if
as
you're
an entrepreneur.
Or like if you have to get shit done, like knowing when is the best time to do certain.
Like for right now, right? Like Aunt Flo is here, came this morning, and I'm feeling a bit fatigued. Like I'm just tired. Before the podcast, I was sitting out in the sun and I'm just like feeling drained. And I'm like, girl, it's time to put on, right? Like wake up. Yeah. And I was just, that's why there's an energy drink here, which I'm not supposed to be drinking that, but
I'll help you.
It's helping. Anyways, so the more I'm learning, I'm like, this is absolutely amazing because it tells you like during the times when you are at your peak, like meaning you are energized, you're flowing, you're creative, they're like, this is the time that you want to schedule networking events. This is the time when you want to start building your retreat, like writing down. It's when you're most when you're most creative. And then there's times where, this is your downtime. And during this time, this is the time maybe that you want to be doing your administrative because you don't want to be out and about right? You're more introvert, I guess, during that time. You're, fatigued. So if you can put your laptop on your lap and kind of just, get into that flow. And
what was the video that you were just watching? Can you pull that up real quick? Like the name of it and everything?
Oh, there's a few of them actually.
The one that you were just watching though, because there was something that the guy said when you were watching it. I think that's a pretty popular YouTube channel too. Like the guy's always interviewing really good people. But one of the things that he said that I didn't even think about, because you know me, like my mind.
You were listening?
Yeah, I listened.
I didn't know you were listening. I was listening.
While I was setting up the podcast. But one thing that he was talking about was that it's different. Like, because you know me, like I'm always thinking, yeah, you're going to feel different on different days, right?
Uh-huh.
Some days you'll wake up with energy. Some days you won't. Some days you'll be motivated. Some days you won't. But really as a dude, like it's hard to wrap your mind around knowing what it feels like as a woman to have these hormones. And it's kind of like, I feel sad. It's like, get your shit together over there. You know what I mean? What are you doing fucking crying? Get it together, lady.
Right.
No, but we just don't know, but he mentioned like it's this way because women have the ability to create life. Mm-hmm. Like you guys have this whole process that happens to you that gives you the ability to create life in your body. So yeah, you're different. Your body pumps hormones that makes you freaking sad and all this other. Like for us, it's just business as usual all the time.
Right.
Like, yes, I wake up kind of sad, kind of happy, kind of tired, kind of not, it's a range that you know how to deal with. But for you, that range is probably fucking way crazier.
Right.
And
it's amazing, especially if you're in a relationship and you're trying to understand your significant other and you're like, what the hell is going on with her? Why is she so out of whack? It's called What Men. Hold on. How do I pull up the entire? Yeah, that's it. It's
called What Men and Women Need to Know About the Menstrual Cycle with Dr. Mindy Pelz. It's from the channel The Diary of a CEO Clips. So The Diary of a CEO seems like it's a podcast or something.
Yeah. So I'll send that to you so you can listen to that.
Or something. They got like Seth Rogen, 2-point-something million views. Yeah. You guys might have heard that little show. But that's what it's called.
It's amazing because then you can get to understand your woman a little better and know that, okay, it's a week before. So this is the time when, and a lot of times, women, because they have higher testosterone levels, those are the time when you want to get it in.
You see, like these are things that I'm down, like I'm open to learning.
But two, every woman is different because
when did he say? No, I'm just kidding.
Babe, but
I know you're down for whatever.
I am. It's like during, before, at, whatever. Like, let's go, right? I'm like, a little blood's not gonna hurt you, baby.
Oh, jeez. Now I gotta switch back to the fucking.
So everyone is different, right? Yes. I just run high on testosterone, my thing. Asterisk. Throughout the month.
Yeah.
But either way, it is a great video. So tune into that. So anyways, I'm learning about me so that I can schedule my days, my months during my cycle time. So I know when to hit it hard and be okay. Like allowing myself that time to just be with me. Not pushing myself in the gym when it's during that time because she talks about everything so much that I can't reiterate what was being spoken. But once I know a little more, because I just started this
found out about it.
Yesterday. Yeah. And so I'm learning more about it now. The more I learn about it, I will let you women know. Actually, look it up for yourself as well.
Yeah, check out that video.
Yeah. It's how to align your productivity with cycle phases. You can Google that and stuff
and find it.
But yeah, for sure.
That's cool.
And educate your man. Send him that video.
Speaking about the differences between men and women, and something that kind of came up in that Young Sheldon video, where like the little girl was. This happens in TV and movies and where they kind of make the guy look like a fucking dumbass or like he can't do shit. Oh. You know what I mean? I'm like, what the hell is that about? But there is this thing where we talked about a couple weeks ago, like the duty of a man.
Yes.
And like a man feeling like this responsibility to take care of his family. And at least for, I don't know if I just say it, real men feel this sense of responsibility of taking care of their family and the people that, you know, they're with and the people that they love. But there is also this thing about a man about being useful, about being needed, that is important. Yes. And I can't remember exactly where I heard it or where I came across it, but it was probably one of those short videos or whatever. Mm-hmm. But it's like, if a man asks you if they can do something for you, if your husband asks you, can I open this for you? Can I do this for you? You may be able to do it for yourself, but allow him to do it for you.
Yes. I was just watching a video on that.
Were you?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, yeah. The one that you were talking about.
There's actually one that I saved regarding
yeah. Was it the one you sent me?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, it is so good. Yes, so good. Because he talks about the deterioration of
the men in society.
And because now these women want to be equal, it's like, oh, I don't need a man for shit. I got this. I can do this.
You do till you don't.
But then you want a man. Then you want a man.
Go look up the Bill Burr 5-minute podcast where he gets into this shit where he talks about like how women, they're like, fuck you, I don't need you and this and that.
We have that on the...
Oh yeah, we should do.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't need you. And then when you hear a bump in the night and somebody's breaking into the house, she's like, oh my God, I'm just a little girl. Go check that shit out. Right. He's like, yes, he does have a knife. He's getting fucking stabbed in the chest. But before that, you're like, fuck you, I don't need you and all this other shit.
You have to allow, this is a great topic to talk about, and we'll talk about it next week. But how to not fix, but how to get realigned and be aware really of how to let your man be a man, like helping him to be, or allowing him to be that, because he is already that, right?
Yeah.
But for us women, and I know that because I was that at the beginning, I was that for every relationship before you, I was that.
Right.
I don't need you. I got this.
You know what's crazy is that as a man, you do, like, you want to be with somebody and you want to take care of them. I've always fucking felt that. That is in you.
But it takes a special woman also.
That's weird.
To,
you know,
sculpt, like to help create that and to raise that, because it's in you.
Right. Yeah. And if you have the right woman with you, yeah.
Oh, you can create an amazing, and not create because it's there.
Right.
But for a woman to be able to play that feminine role and allow her man
and assist
to play, that masculine role, but also when that man, when you're feeling, because most women are very intuitive, your man is stressed or going through a hard time or whatever, he may not be voicing it because men don't voice it, but having that intuition and being able to be there for that man, like being able to have that also, that masculine, that balance within the woman to be like, what can I do to help you? But it's not even asking, it's doing. It's becoming that team. It's playing team.
Now that I kind of think about, sometimes, like that team, like if men, I guess, like you would say, that masculine energy or whatever, but it like that, how men are,
yes,
like they're doers, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when things get crazy, what do they need? They need support. They don't need somebody. A lot of times it's not, I don't need somebody to come do with me.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I need to release it a little bit or vent about it a little bit or just get it off my chest a little bit. And or what is it that women do? They're more emotional, more of that type of thing.
Yeah, that's the feminine.
Which kind of would allow me to kind of get back to doing what I need to do.
Yes. That's what creates the balance.
Right.
Because you were overly masculine. Overly masculine will create that asshole, right? Being overly masculine.
Yeah, I can see that. Yep.
Is that.
It's too much. It's mucho, way.
And so we had an energy exchange. How to say that in scientific form? I don't know. It's not that.
Not that
though
energy
you talk
exchange.
about that, but that is like
that's a
love.
Different energy
that's
exchange.
Just providing love. That's
yes.
Oh,
that
yes.
Is providing
Anyways,
love.
Don't go there right now. I'm already getting heated. I'm like, ooh, yeah. But me being that nurturing, loving wife, think about that.
Yeah. No, it
has helped to soften you a bit.
Yeah.
Has helped you to become balanced.
Yeah. No, not just in that way.
Right.
But in every part of my life. In everything. You know, the other day you were talking about when we were in Huntington Beach and you were kind of like reflecting on everything. Like, and you were saying like how far I've came. Mm-hmm. But I can't come or get to anywhere without you. You know, like all the things that I've been able to accomplish in my career, you have had a part in it. There is no way that I can go to work and leave the kids behind without you being there. There's been classes that I've taken and gotten certificates for that have my name on them that you've helped me with, that you've read parts of my paper, that you've reviewed things that I've wrote, that you've helped me write. You know, that you've, special assignments that I've had to do that you help cover while I had to leave. Like when I tried to fucking rap, you came with me. Like every single part of it.
Groupie.
You were my groupie. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah.
You're just as there is no me without you.
Thank you, babe. It's us. And I see that with my business. Like I mentioned on here, your support,
and that gets into a different thing. Like we don't want to kind of like drag this thing out forever, but one thing that we can get into next week, we got to write this down so that we can talk about it because it came up and it's just something as simple as having two separate bank accounts when you're together. You see things separately. Right. This is yours. This is mine.
Right.
But yes, you have a business, but we have to make it work. Yes, I go to school, but we have to make it work.
Right.
And if you need help in your business, you need documents dropped off, you need documents printed, you need something picked up at the store, then I can do that. Yeah. If I need somebody to read my paper before I turn it in, if I need help with something, like what, you're there.
He walked into my office because I was printing out some documents and he's like, what am I, your secretary? I'm like, you've always been my secretary.
I'm like, I'm her gopher. And with that, we'll talk about that a little bit more next week. But make sure, like we said before, share this with somebody that you guys know. Share a clip from our new clips channel. Check out our new thumbnails and our titles. Let us know if you like them.
We are
Leave
really
a comment,
focused
subscribe.
on helping that, or if you guys can help us with help to grow that channel, the clips channel.
Yep.
We definitely appreciate that.
But yeah, so make sure you guys follow, like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. It all helps. Go to our website, oppositesattractpodcast.com. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you guys for your love. Thank you for your support. And thank you for watching Opposites Attract Podcast.
Where we get better
together. Bye.